Welcome back to another episode of GGS, where I attempt to find more hidden gem anime by watching one that flies under most people's radar each new season. Fall 2025 made it an easy selection for me, since Touring After the Apocalypse is adapted from a manga that I was already interested in reading. So together, let's find out whether this adventure slice-of-life anime is a gem, garbage, or something in between. Touring After the Apocalypse follows two girls, a human named Yoko and her android best friend named Airi. They travel throughout an empty post-apocalyptic Japan on a solar-powered motorcycle, visiting the same places that Yoko's big sister visited before the collapse of civilization, such as landmarks, famous towns, and various places of interest. On their travels, these girls are able to experience the beauty of a humanless world overgrown with nature and dominated by wildlife. Their travels are mostly wholesome, fun, and tranquil as this story plays out like a virtual tour of the ruined civilization of Japan. This anime gives off cutesy slice-of-life vibes, but at any moment will also remind you of the severity of the situation, that these two girls are alone and just how bleak and hopeless that can be in such a vast world, as they try to remain optimistic in their travels. I think Touring After the Apocalypse is the perfect example of an okay anime, but it leaves you yearning for better. While this show can have some genuinely good episodes, such as episode 4 when Yoko and Airi spend time in Akihabara, frequently there are long periods within most other episodes that are just boring to watch. I get that part of the story's focus is presenting a usually cozy, cute girls doing cute things post-apocalyptic sightseeing aesthetic. However, I think too much time is invested showcasing the beauty of this desolate world and the girls traveling throughout it, which can make for an occasionally boring watch. It's almost a bit too relaxing, lulling you into a slumber. Thankfully, this is remedied a bit with the girls singing on their travels, their dialogues with one another, and even the underlying bleakness and loneliness of this post-apocalyptic scenario these girls have to face. But even those things only help so much. Since I am talking about the girls singing, I should make note of the fact that the overall soundtrack from this anime is genuinely good, notably featuring the first Sword Art Online opening, as well as Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai's ending song. Those are both songs I really enjoy, and it was a nice touch contextually in the story. Now to get back on track with my review. More often than not, the storytelling connected to these various locations visited by the girls is lackluster. Even with each of these different stops in their travels, the story still focuses on sightseeing instead of telling a story through these locations, or answering some of the mysteries of this world. Unfortunately, even when the series does place more focus on the story over sightseeing, it was underwhelming and could have been executed better. I would have liked it more if episodes honed in on specific stories within certain locations, like with Ichiro in episode 2, or the radio station in episode 4, instead of what this story ends up being, essentially a virtual tour of a post-apocalyptic Japan. Tell a better story through the environment and what was left behind after the apocalyptic event occurred. Shine the spotlight more on the psychological impact of Yoko being the last human on the surface. I also think this anime would have benefited greatly from having varied episode lengths, because some episodes needed more exploration and exposition, while others simply did not. For example, episode 4 needed the full 23 minutes to complete its story, whereas episode 11 would have been better with a runtime closer to 18 minutes. My biggest complaint thus far with Touring After the Apocalypse's story, and what prevents it from being good, is the fact that it is frustrating to watch. There are so many unresolved plot lines by the anime's end, and it never attempts to answer any of them at any point. The answers for various elements of the story are placed on the back burner, while Yoko and Airi go on a tour around Japan with no destination or answers for these mysteries in sight. What happened to make the world like this? Is Yoko's sister actually still alive? Is Yoko even human, or is she a cyborg or clone of herself? The final episode especially is a moment where it seems like Yoko is finally starting to understand that her own existence is shrouded in mystery, which only further reminds me of the frustration that we do not have any answers to my questions. I want answers to at least a few of the numerous mysteries of this world, but instead I am forced to continue watching in hopes that my questions get answers. On one hand, that's clever writing to maintain your audience, because while enjoying this series, you are going to want answers, so you continue with it. But at the same time, there needs to be some visible, notable progress with that part of the story, instead of leading your audience on and testing just how patient they are. The story consistently provides the bare minimum detail-wise, making this extremely frustrating for whoever watches this anime. The addition of sci-fi and supernatural occurrences such as the spirits in episode 9 and aliens in episode 11 hinders this project even further, since I want answers for these strange phenomena, and again, none are provided, making this increasingly frustrating to watch because I want answers to something, and I never get them. Now I want to present my guess on one of Touring After the Apocalypse's biggest mysteries, which is Yoko's existence. My theory is that she is an aged down clone of herself, having some of her memories from when she used to travel with her sister. It'd explain why she has these weird premonitions and dreams of being at certain locations before. My guess is that remnants of humanity are in different bunkers on Earth or in outer space, observing Yoko and Airi's travels to test whether or not Earth is livable. They even helped save her from being crushed by a giant rock during a landslide with that miraculous bolt of light. The story has so many small moments that hint at something like this, but unfortunately we have to be patient to receive the full answer. And again, everything I said in this section is purely speculation on my part. Going forward, this is a series I will keep an eye on since it was on my manga watch list before the anime even aired, and there's more to the story after what happens in it. I just want answers going forward, so hopefully it doesn't continue to drag on this journey without providing them. I labeled Touring After the Apocalypse as something that's okay, or for the purposes of GGS, as something in between, and give it a 6 out of 10. If you are looking for a cute girls doing cute things anime with some slight elements of yashige, this will be a decent recommendation for you. However, as a warning, this anime can be frustrating to watch if you want answers to the various mysteries of the story, because they are never answered. Thanks so much for watching. Tell me your thoughts of the anime in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.